good morning, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. I'm making this video to kind of give at-home workout tips to people with rheumatoid arthritis or any joint problems or anything like that. So we'll get right into it. My first tip is to focus on the eccentric parts of the exercise. So I like to use squats as like the prime example for this, because when you go down into the squat, that's called the eccentric phase. So you want to do that very slowly. And then you kind of want to pause at the isometric part of the exercise for like 2 to 5 seconds, or, so you can actually feel your muscles like activating. And then you come back up like at a normal pace. So doing that kind of helps take a lot of the impact off of your joints, but you're still creating more tension in your muscles that way. So you're still activating them, you're still gaining strength by putting that muscle through that tension for a longer period of time, rather than just adding stress onto the muscle itself, if that makes sense. My second tip is to try isometric exercises. So these are exercises where you're not really moving. So like planks and wall sits are perfect examples. You're not moving the joint, you're not like putting that heavy movement on the joint, but you're still activating those muscles and still getting those muscles to stabilize and strengthen that way, by still creating that tension. Resistance bands keep your body moving and your muscles contracting, but without like a heavier load. So it makes it a little bit lighter on you. You get the movements down, you build more endurance. So you're not pushing against like a heavy weight or anything like that. And my fourth tip is to try like yoga or Pilates. My favorite way to do Pilates, I guess I should say, is the videos that Pilates posts. So if you go to her channel, I highly recommend it. I used to do these videos all the time when my RA was really bad, and it's actually a really good workout. It's like full body, pretty much low impact. You can always modify. But Pilates is great, so I highly recommend that. And then any kind of yoga that you can do or that you've been doing is great too, because you can build that stabilization and flexibility that way as well. But if you're not in any pain, if your rheumatoid arthritis is under control, you can always try HIIT workouts. That's kind of what I've been doing. You can always modify anything, like almost any movement really. You can modify burpees, mountain climbers, however you want, so that way it's less impact on your joints if it turns painful. But obviously like biking is low impact. You can always try that. If you have an elliptical at home, walking at a faster speed, running if you can, anything like that is perfectly like helpful if you have arthritis, I think. Because the more strength you build, the more that will benefit your joints in the long run. The more stabilization you can get around those joints, the less pain you'll have while you're walking or running or putting impact on those joints themselves, because the muscles will kind of take that off of them. My tips for that though are, obviously you want to go slow. Listen to your body. If it hurts too much, don't do it, but you still kind of want to push your limits. So that's where you really have to kind of be in tune with your body and see like, can I push this a little bit farther or should I not? And sometimes it's like trial and error. Sometimes you might, like when I first started, I kind of threw myself into a couple flare-ups at the beginning, just because I thought I could push myself, and it turned out that probably wasn't a good idea. So it's always about listening to your body, finding out what works for you, your trials and errors. Like obviously I'm not a doctor or a physician or anything like that, so I'm not trying to give you medical advice here or anything. I am simply just giving you advice from my own experience and my own research that I've done. Hi, Rosie. So overall, those are my tips for working out at home with rheumatoid arthritis, or if you have any joint problems, and I hope you found it somewhat helpful. Let me know what you think and what you do to stay fit at home. And I probably get questions all the time about what supplements I use to control my rheumatoid arthritis, or just what I use in general for fitness. So I don't use a lot, but here they are. So I do use turmeric curcumin. I take one of these capsules a day, and I think this is my biggest lifesaver, because the 1 or 2 times maybe that I stopped taking it, I definitely felt it in my joints. So this is probably my biggest recommendation to people who ask me like about different supplements for rheumatoid arthritis. And then I also take lysine. I take 2 of these capsules a day, and this is actually to combat the side effects from my medications, which is so bad. I obviously don't want to be on medications for the rest of my life, but for now this works perfectly. And then I also take, there's a train outside, I take Women's Alive gummy vitamins. It's just a multivitamin. You can get those anywhere, obviously. Then I take Florigen for women, because I'm a woman, and sometimes I get side effects from, again, my medications that this kind of helps combat too. And then I take this kind of protein right now. It always changes, so I don't like stick with a certain brand, and I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but I kind of just, I mean, it tastes good, it's whey, it has 25 grams of protein, so lately I've been taking this. But yeah, that is pretty much it. So if you have any questions, please comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this helpful or beneficial. And this is who you heard in the background drinking her water very loudly. Rosie! Oh, look at that little face.